It's gonna be bacon and cheese. This is a dream team.
Taste.
I
mean, this is so unconventional. Oh, that tastes like straight cancer. Just like I remember. All right, and now we just put that cheese in there. See that? Nice and messy. Today we're going to be doing a comparison between Russian MRE and an American MRE. You've already seen me open the Russian MRE, and here's a clip of that.
Guys, pashtiet. Let's open it up. Oh, it's another one like this. Come on. Ugh.
It's your favorite.
All right, here we go. I don't like that. I don't like that.
But to get to where we're going to open it, we're going to have to take a small little walk. You've already seen a little bit of the walk that we've been doing. And I have my stick for rattlesnakes. You know, out here in California, it's a desert. So we got them rattlesnakes. Come on, let's go. Behind me is the San Fernando Valley. That's where I live. Where we're going to open the MRE is over here. We have a long way to go. When I was growing up, I used to go up these mountains with my brother, with my sisters, and basically grew up on these mountains. In Siberia, that's one thing that we have in common is mountains. But in these, you rarely see snow. Basically, we have to get over to that ridge. We're going to take this little path here, go up, and then go down the spine of the mountain, because it'll give us a better view as the sun is setting. Then we'll get to opening that MRE. The road has degraded. It's getting thinner and thinner to go up this thing. Thousands and thousands of times people have walked up this path. And it's good that we're making this video because it's been maybe 10 years since I last went up this place. And you, like I said, are coming with me. This is going to be dangerous. Record here. Look at this path here. I'm planning on doing the video on that spine. Not a lot of people use that, but for good reason. It's very steep here. So I'm going to shut off the camera and make sure that Luz is safe. Make sure that I'm safe so we get to that position. We made it to our spot. This is it. I'm going to present to you this MRE. This is number 10. This is chili and macaroni. We're going to dig into this. But before we get started on that, let me know if you're interested in seeing another Russian MRE box opening, because I will be going back to Russia. If you like these kind of things, let me know just now before we even get into the video. The biggest difference between the American MRE and the Russian MRE that I can tell you right now is that this one heats up with water. So we're going to open it up and get it started. Hopefully some of you guys who are in the United States have never seen an MRE, and hopefully you guys in Russia enjoy this opening of the American MRE. All right, we're gonna open this up. Like I said, I'm gonna look for a pretty sharp rock or something, just to rip the plastic up a little bit. Get it started here. And another big difference is that this is plastic. The Russian MRE is like cardboard box or paper. All right. Here we have, it's open. Let me just look through it. And so on the American MRE, I was told that the Russian one is for like all day. For us, we had one meal in war, and that was enough for all of day. But anyways, this is the main meal. This is what it says in the front, which was chili and macaroni. It should be in here. You have your candies. Not every MRE in America has candies. This is one of the lucky ones that if you had the candy one, you could trade in the war. I'll keep referring to the war because actually I ate MREs the most in Afghanistan. All right, I'm really excited to let you know that this is a cheese spread, guys. This is a jalapeno cheese spread. We're getting lucky. This is the most famous cheese spreads in all of the MREs because it has that spice. And I'll show you what you do with this later. All right, we're gonna keep it going. This is, lemon poppy seed pound cake. Jesus, this seems to be the holy grail of MREs. Actually, if I remember correctly, number 10 is one of the MREs that is really sought after. Here we have matches inside. This is like the miscellaneous bag. We have matches, a wet towel, dry napkins, a little bit of tea. We'll open that later. I don't really use that, all right? This is a teriyaki beef stick. This is, guys, this is a gold mine. I'm telling you right now, people who were in the military, let me know if this is one of your favorite meals. Number 10, the chili macaroni. So we're going to move on here. This is the beverage bag. This is where we mix our beverages, and we have orange flavored juice. All right, we got some of that orange colored juice. We'll fill this up a little bit later as well. We're just going through the menu here. Here's some crackers, vegetable crackers. In the Russian MRE, there was like 4 big packs of these. We get 2, no problem. I will be putting videos from the Russian MRE box in this video so that you guys understand what the comparison is like. But there is a full video that you can go watch after this video so that you can go and compare there. Again, wow, you not only get 2, you get other types of crackers. Unbelievable. 4 sets of crackers. These seem to be from wheat, so they're definitely different than these. Finally, guys, here's the heater system. This is that water heater system. The instructions are in the front. But you have to be basically like dumber than a caveman to not understand. You open this up, you put some water in it. That's how we work it. So what are we gonna do first? We're gonna open up the beverage and we're gonna get that going because I wanna mix it or keep it mixed as long as possible. Ooh, smells like cancer. It's okay. We're gonna open up the bag here. All right. And we're simply gonna throw that thing in there. All of that powder, all that rocky substance has to be broken down. That's why I wanna put it in as soon as possible. All right, we're gonna make sure none of this trash goes into the wilderness and fill up our bag with some water. Now, the bag itself will tell you what the mix ratio is, but I put a little bit more water because I don't like the taste of it. You know, I just want a little bit of flavor in that water. Sometimes you feel a little bit like you want to treat yourself, so you put a little bit of powder in it. And look, you mix it up like this. I don't know if I did this in the Russian MRE, but let me know if you're Russian. Is this how you mix your MRE? I didn't get to that part in the opening of the one in Russia. We're gonna put this away, make sure that it's nice and closed. We'll get back to it later. The pound cake and the jerky and the candy, we're gonna set it aside because that, of course, is at the end. All right. Now I'm gonna show you how the heating system works. So here it goes for all you guys that don't know how it works. You open it up. What I like to do is I like to have everything ready. So I'll put my hand in, make sure that it's nice and open, and I'll have my meals ready exactly how I want them. Now this heater pad, when it touches water, it has a chemical reaction. Okay, that's what's going to heat our food. We'll put a little bit of water in there. It tells you the level. Do not overfill. So you shouldn't, I mean, guys, this is caveman stuff. You don't want to be the guy messing this up. So we have our water in there. Put my cheese. I want the cheese also very warm. You'll see why later. Now usually I've seen guys that do it like they put the heater in this box and then they put the food outside. I'll do it this way. I'll put everything in there. You know what I'm saying? We want that thing be burning. Because when you're in a war or you're in a combat zone, you want your food to taste a little bit normal. You want it nice and hot. We'll get back to you as this is heating up, all right? All right, we'll put that in here. I could already feel it getting warm. You can see it smoking if you get close enough here. See that? I hope the camera is catching that. Here's a clip of what the Russian MRE box gives you as a heater now. I think I got it going. I can tell you right now, guys, this is not a good way of doing it. Really cool. It's really, really hot. You could actually make bombs out of this sack if you know what you're doing. We'll put the bag inside of the MRE bag. And while that is heating up, I want to give you guys a little talk. So remember, we have our juice and our main meal here. This is absolutely giving me awesome flashbacks when I was suffering in the trenches with my boys. Well, as that's heating up, I'm gonna open up the beef jerky here so we can take a look. It's just a normal piece of meat. Nothing fancy. Now this type of stuff, you know, if you don't have cigarettes in the war, if you don't have like any other type of food, you have this in your cargo pocket just like this. In fact, my Gorka looks exactly like my old camis. You know, you'd have that food, you'd pop it out, man, and you just start chewing on it all day. What's the advantages of having a beef jerky in your pocket? Well, when your boys are out there with all that food and you ate your food because you're a fat boy, you just remember, oh, I got that beef jerky in my pocket. Pop it out. Wow. That's delicious. Without exaggerating, that's delicious. Was it good, Luz?
That is really good.
Hopefully you guys could pick up the volume on the sound. She said it's really good. Now I'll tell you why it's delicious. Beef jerky in America is absolutely top tier. I've seen some countries do it, but they don't do it like we do it. That beef jerky right there, I mean, I would fight over it if somebody stole my beef jerky. Now, one of the biggest differences that I noticed between the Russian MRE and the American MRE, the Russian MRE had maybe 3 main courses because, again, it's for all day. This one, like we said, is only one. And usually if you went on a patrol, maybe you'll have 1 or 2, 3 MREs. But for the most part, what we like to do is you go out, you patrol, and you have that 1 MRE to last you that night. If you know that you're not going to be busting like 2 nights, 3 nights outside of the wire, you have that 1 MRE for all day. Obviously, we also have bottles of water. You know, we have our conflicts, or we're stationed in places that are very hot. And the Russian food is very filled with fat. We're going to give this juice a little bit of a taste test. You know, a lot of the Russian comments were saying, hey, don't you know that our food is filled with fat because of the cold temperature and all these things? Well, I'm not sure. I was never in a cold temperature place, but I'm pretty sure these are the same MREs that they would give us if we were in a cold place. If you were in the Marine Corps, let me know. If you went to like Finland or Sweden, let me know if you had a different MRE, please. But we're gonna give this a little taste. I mean, this is so unconventional. Oh, that tastes like straight cancer. Just like I remember. Absolute cancer. But supposedly it has like vitamins and stuff that you need, electrolytes. But to me, it tastes like absolute cancer. We're going to give my sister a little taste. She's going to figure this out immediately that it is in fact pretty much cancer. Oh, disgusting. Well, it looks like our main course is basically done here. I feel the bag, it's very hot. You can see some smoke maybe. All right, we're gonna take this out very carefully. This is very, very hot. Oh yeah, you wanna mix it up in there? I am so excited for this. I am so excited. Now what you wanna do is, you have to pay attention. Okay, this is not like the Russian one where you flip it open. No, This is a tear at the top. So what I like to do is move all the food to the bottom. All right. And you tear this bad boy open. I just slid it to the top. Look at this. You see that? That is amazing. Now I'll tell you why we put that cheese in there, boys. This cheese right here, like in a time in need, you're looking at $15, $10, depending on how desperate your buddy is. This cheese right here is gonna look super good to you in a few seconds. All right, and now we just put that cheese in there. See that? Nice and messy. Now that's step number one, all right? That's step number one. Once you open it automatic, put that cheese in, boys. The sun setting behind us, and I did this video here for you guys so we can record while the sun is setting behind us, because I think California is beautiful. All right, I'm from these mountain areas and it's just fantastic. We're gonna finish up this MRE video for you, and let me know in the comment section if you've seen a sunset like this. Next step, you already know, open up those crackers. Now the reason why we're doing this instead of just eating them individually is because, but trust me, it tastes much better when you crack them in there. Break them into small pieces. Just like that. Not a problem. I'm gonna mix this up for you and you're gonna see how delicious it's gonna look. Look at this. You got that cheese mixed in there with the crackers. It's as good as I remember.
It's beef.
Beef. All right, here we go. You can see that it's smoking. So it definitely did something. I know it needed more time, but I think that's enough time. It's really, really nice and warm. Is this beef and potatoes? It looks like beef and potatoes. Check that out. Okay. This tastes exactly, and I'm just saying right now, it tastes exactly like the American one. In America, we like to put the cheese in foods like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some cheese, and it would actually be better if the cheese was a little bit melted. We have a cracker. This is basically how we eat in the American military, and I can see that you can actually do it in Russia as well. All right. Now this setting is really like, it reminds me of the old days, because usually you're on patrol all day. All day you cannot eat. And you sit down, you know, in a place that looks a little bit like this, a little rugged. Sun is setting, you're with your boys, and you just start eating your food, you know, talk about your day. And I guess our MRE is built for that. We have, you know, individual packs. You take it out on patrols for war, and you get to eat them. The Russian one came in that box, And to me, like the Russian MRE is a little bit more practical, actually. You take that box out, even if you have to patrol or you have to sit somewhere in a defensive position, you have a bigger box. Of course, you could, have 3 or 4 MREs, but they stack up, guys. And it's not very practical to have 4 or 5 in your backpack. That, I'll give the point to the Russian MRE. It is much better for a combat scenario. All right, this is the last spoonful. Look at that. I still absolutely love this menu. It is fantastic. One other thing that I like about this American MRE is just how easy it is to throw away and keep clean. So you put it all back into this bag. I know that the Russian MRE is the same way. You could box it up, but I mean, this one you can make even smaller than how you got it. We're gonna taste now the pound cake. Now I'm all dirty, so actually let's open up the miscellaneous just so you can see. You have your napkins, your moist towelettes. Back when I was in the military, I still had a mustache. The flavor saver up there used to get dirty all the time. So you need one of these wet napkins. To make sure you're clean. Then you take that dry one. Keep yourself clean. Let's see what else is in the miscellaneous. Some gum, like I said. Some lighters. Some matches. Different types of mixtures. Sugar, salt. All of that jazz. We're going to try the pound cake really quickly. Yep, looks exactly how I remember it. Now, I don't like the texture of the poppy seeds, so I'll take one bite. But, it's not a bad piece of bread. It's still nice and soft and fresh. And if it didn't have the poppy seeds, this would be tremendous. We'll give some to Luz. Make sure you guys are commenting if you've had an American MRE, if you had a Russian MRE. What are the biggest differences? If you're Russian, tell me what is different between this one and the one you used when you were in the military, or the ones that you used to seeing in Russia. And if you're American or from anywhere else, what do you think is the better MRE, this one or the Russian one? And I obviously made a video about that earlier, and you can go check that out after this video. I'm going to try the army chocolate. I said I wasn't going to try it, but I'll give it a little bite. And I'm sorry for talking while I'm eating, but this video is basically me talking about food, and half the time I have food in my mouth. Let's give this a taste. It is dark chocolate, as you can see here. I'll give it a little bite. It tastes good. A lot of this food is just for energy and fat, just like the American one. I'll tell you, we do have candy in our military MREs, but not only one type of chocolate. We get Skittles, Twizzlers, Reese's Pieces, and in the military, we trade. If you have the Skittles, geez, there's people that'll trade cigarettes for Skittles. There's people that'll trade chewing tobacco for the Reese's Pieces. So candy is very valuable in military food. Please understand that this is basically gold. If you're in a combat situation and you want that sugar, you need that sugar, people will pay so much money for a little bit of sugar. Now, these little Twizzlers, I'm telling you right now, it used to have also Skittles. It has a variant of candies. This one has these Twizzlers. Now, I will say I saw people do crazy things for these candies. Like, when you're in a combat zone, the last thing you want is to go the whole deployment without a little bit of sugar from back home. I'm not a fan of these Twizzlers, but I've seen some guys do some crazy stuff for these. and Reese's Pieces. I'll give you like a quick real story. So this is a real story. One of my friends took the powder to make the juice. His was lemon flavor. And we told him to snort it. And if he snorted it, he got Reese's Pieces. And that's a real thing. Like, guys go crazy for a little bit of chunk of back home. And this is what the candy symbolizes. A little bit of American society. I am not going to drink this. This juice from the American MRE actually takes days off of your life. We'll let the nature have it. Just wait till I get back to Russia so we can do the Russian experience. I want to get my revenge against the pashtyet. You know, a lot of Russian people were saying, that's not how you eat it. Well, obviously, I know how to eat the one I used. But I'm going back to Russia soon, and I'm going to get my vengeance on your Russian MRE. And by the way, you know how I told you I opened up that Russian MRE? If you've seen that video, what is the one thing that you thought I was not going to be able to eat? And let's not talk about the pashtyet. There was other things in there that were very questionable. I can just tell you there were so many things I disliked. All right, let's get the hell off this mountain. The rattlesnakes will probably come out and hunt. I don't know what's going to happen. We have to make it back up that hill and back down. It's very dangerous. Check that out. Look at that scene. Absolutely gorgeous. The sun has set and it's time to go. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you come back to watch a new one in the future. Goodbye.
Здравствуйте!
Hello, my friends. I am currently in Guadalajara, Mexico, getting my medical attention. If you got to this point of the video, let me know by commenting 555, and I'm going to reply something really fun. Bye.